Welcome back to Joe's Stunner Boxing. Let's talk a bit about Oleksandr Usyk because it's, 5 weeks since he beat Tyson Fury for the second time. Certainly cemented his status as the number one heavyweight in the world and the best heavyweight of his generation. I think it's pretty much indisputable now. But whereas Fury has since supposedly retired, which we all know he hasn't, it's just a leverage for, or attempt at leverage for a potential Anthony Joshua fight. Pay me this amount or I'm retiring. Oh, he can do that, but he's not retired. He's just playing silly buggers like he always does. And Joshua, of course, very much damaged goods, smashed up badly by Dubois. Dubois is going to be facing Joseph Parker very soon. We've got another couple of matchups, haven't we? Who is it? Is it Zhang and Kabayel? Yeah. And Zhang is fighting. So, well, whatever the case is, look, there's the others are sort of getting on with it. But Usyk's been quiet. And it does beg the question, apart from the fact that he deserves to be quiet if he wants to. He's just come off two back-to-back victories over Fury. But what's he going to do next if he doesn't retire? Now, I never, ever took seriously this idea that he's going to go back down to cruiserweight. He's too big. I don't see the point of it. Who's he going to fight at cruiser? Jai Opetaia, maybe? And then Opetaia's talking about coming up and facing him, which is a stupid matchup, at least at this point of Opetaia's career. I don't know. Who is there? Because I mentioned Bakole. Would you pick Bakole to beat Usyk? I wouldn't. I think he's a handful for anyone, but he's a front runner. I've seen no evidence of Bakole under any kind of pressure and overcoming it. He's a big guy, hits hard, tough guy. But don't forget that defeat against, I know it was years ago, the defeat against Michael Hunter. And he has only beaten one really top heavyweight, and even then you could say he was more of a prospect than a top heavyweight, and that was Jared Anderson. So put him in with Usyk. What does Usyk gain out of that? I don't know. Does it add to his legacy? Maybe a little bit. And Bakole, in fact, is in the IBF. Bakole is ranked number 3. Now, numbers 1 and 2 are empty. They're vacant, not rated. It says on their ratings. I don't understand why they do this, but they do. But Bakole's the next man down. This is the IBF I'm talking about. Then you've got Frank Sanchez, who's been quiet since he lost to Kabayel. He had that knee injury, which definitely affected his performance against Kabayel. But Kabayel's a good fighter, don't forget. Then there's Kabayel himself, of course. Where would we put him? If he wins his next fight, put him in with Usyk. I don't see why not. I think that'd be a pretty good matchup. It wouldn't be a glamour and glitz matchup. It would be one for the hardcores, for the people that like boxing and fighting rather than just, big names. But I'm a hardcore fan anyway. As far as I'm concerned, I don't mind that at all. Filip Hrgović has been quiet since Dubois beat him. Jagba's still floating around, and he has been for years. I don't know. Who else is there? I mean, you've got the sort of tier below, haven't you, with Fabio Wardley against Usyk? Not a chance. It's very difficult to think of someone who is going to give Usyk problems. I mean, serious problems. Realistically, give him problems, because of course any heavyweight can potentially give you problems. But if we're talking bookies odds, it's very difficult to find anyone who's going to be even close to the odds. Who's going to be a live underdog? Put it that way. And then you've got the next generation, Moses Talma, way too early for him to be fighting anyone like Usyk. Then you've got people who are next generation, I suppose, would be Justice Hooney, who I don't rate particularly highly, but who's in the mix. Bakadir Jalilov is a possible outsider, red herring, whatever you want to call him, unknown commodity. It is very, very difficult to pick people. And this is why I think a lot of people are suggesting that Usyk retire. Of course, it's up to him. It's not for me or anyone else to tell him when to retire. He's certainly earned the right to do that himself, to make that decision himself. But what can he do to increase his legacy to top what he's already done? And what he's already done has been absolutely tremendous. He's, as the saying goes, completed boxing. So if you have any ideas as to who you would put him in with, Usyk now, where he can go from here. I mean, a rematch with Dubois is probably the only thing I can think of. That's if Dubois comes through Parker. If Parker was to beat Dubois, then Parker against Usyk, yeah, I could see that. But those two, I mean, let's say he beats the winner of that fight. What else is there for him to do? I think it's perfectly understandable why people are saying to Usyk, you've done it, mate. Walk off into the sunset. Go and enjoy your life with your family. You know, he's a big family man. He's got kids. Go and enjoy your millions, because, my God, you made enough of them. You know, I just think that's probably the best thing for him. But he'll probably continue. Most of them do, don't they? And don't forget, Usyk is, what is he, 36 now? 36, 37? Yeah. What do you think? If I'm missing a name, leave it below in the comments. Let me know who you'd like to see him in with, Usyk. And yeah, I'll answer you. I'll read your comments and I'll answer your questions. Thank you very much for this rather brief but perfectly formed video. And I hope you will subscribe if you're new and hit the like button if you enjoyed the video. But leave some names below. I want to chew this over in my head and see if anything sort of piques my interest. Because apart from the winner of Dubois versus Parker, I can't really think of anyone. Caballel's interesting. That intrigues me. Zhang and Bakole, maybe. But let me know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.